This video demonstrates the use of a while loop. What we're going to do is write a program that calculates a tip amount. The tip percentage must be above 0. So we have a variable meal price initialized to 0 with the data type double. We have another data type double, variable named tip percent, which is also initialized to 0. The program outputs what was the price of the meal. User inputs the price of the meal. The program then outputs apply what tip percent. User inputs the tip percent. And then the program calculates the tip percent by multiplying the meal price by the tip percent. So let's go ahead and run this program. We're going to compile and execute. Let's say the price was $46, and let's give them a 15% tip. And the suggested tip is $690. Okay, that's definitely wrong. What's wrong with our calculation? Well, our meal price is 46, our tip percent is 15%, and we're multiplying 46 by 15, and that will be 690. But what we actually intended to do for the tip percent is to make this a percentage. So we'll divide by 100, and we'll turn that into 15%. Alright, let's recompile, execute. Let's say 46, and at a 15%, tip about 690. That's about right. We can do a number that's even easier to work with. Let's say it's only a $10 meal, and we have a 15%, so $1.50. Yes, that's correct. Okay, now what about if the user inputs, let's say a $100 meal, and the user inputs a negative number, say negative 15. Well, then the tip is negative 15. What does that mean? Does that mean the waiter pays us $15? That's not right. We also have already stated in the program that the tip percent must be above 0. So let's check to see what the tip percent is, and then we could inform the user that they have an invalid tip percentage. So that's one possible way to do this. So if the tip percent is less than 0, then we'll have additional output which would say invalid tip percent. Save, let's run the program. Okay, $100 meal, negative 15%. Okay, we get an invalid tip percent. That's pretty good. What would be even better is if the program just asked again for a tip percent. It just asked the question once again, apply what tip percent. And we can't do that with an if statement, but we can with a while. So let's change this if to a while, and let's see what happens. Compile, execute. $100 meal, negative 15%, and we have an infinite loop of outputting invalid tip percent. How does that infinite loop occur? Well, let's take a quick look. The tip percent that we inputted was negative 15. Negative 15 is less than 0, and so this statement, the while statement, evaluates to true. So we have a while true, and so the program outputs invalid tip percent. And then after the output occurs, the while loop is invoked again, and we reevaluate. The tip percent is less than 0, and that's, yes, it's still true. Tip percent is negative 15, that's still less than 0. So then we output once again, and the loop starts over, and it keeps going on and on forever. So what do we need to do? We need to just ask the user once again to apply a tip percent. So we're going to get a new value stored into tip percent, so that when the while loop begins again, we have a new value. So let's take a look at how this works. Compile and execute. What was the price of the meal? $100. What was the tip percent? Negative 15. Invalid tip percent. It's asking me again. Let's say negative 100. Invalid tip percent. What if I said 15? Then it tells us the tip amount, which is 15. So if we had a $100 meal and we tip 15%, then the tip is $15, which is correct. Thank you.